All right, so we're back. Video B on the calculator. This next set of things I'm going to talk about is how we can use fractions or do fractions on our calculators. Up here along the top, there's a button that says y equals, and above it in green is F1. That's function 1. Kind of like computers have that across the top of their keyboards. Different functions. So F1 is where we will find the fraction functions. Now it's in green. Anytime you want to do something in green, you got to press the green button first. So I'm going to go, let's clear this out first. Let's quit out and get out of that. Let's clear this screen, get a blank screen. All right, so I'm going to go, and what I did to get that screen clear was just press clear, okay? So I'm going to go green key, y equals. And you'll get this little menu at the bottom. Number 1 is how you input a fraction. That stands for numerator over denominator. Any single fraction. Number 2 is how you input a mixed number. That's a unit measure and then numerator over denominator. Number 3 is how we convert improper to mixed or mixed to improper. I never use this. And the 4th one, which we'll use different places, is changing a fraction to a decimal or a decimal to a fraction. So let's try it out. Number 1 is how you input a fraction. So again, I'm just going to press number 1 because that's the menu item I want. And you'll see on your calculator that you get this little template where you're going to plug your numbers in. So I'm just going to make something up. So I'm going to go 7. To get to the bottom, you go right cursor. It's got a right arrow there. Let's go 8. And then get out of the fraction. And I'm going to multiply it by another fraction. So again, I need my template. To get my fraction template, I go green, y equals. And again, I want number 1. And we're going to multiply that by 24 over 57. And then cursor right to get out. And then enter equals. Give me my answer. 7 over 19 is my answer. Let's do one of those again with a mixed number this time. And I'll do another operation. So I'm going to get a fraction. So alpha y equals F1, green key. So number 1. And I'll press 14. Cursor right, go my denominator. 14 over 17. Cursor out of that. Plus, now let's do a mixed number here so you can see how this works. Alpha key, so green, y equals number 2. So see, the template looks different. You get your integer part, your unit part, and then your fraction part. So I'm going to have, let's just go 5 and 2/3. Enter. Voila. 331 over 51. Remember that you can leave your answers as improper. Your calculator will reduce it to its simplest form, so you will not have to do that. It will reduce it automatically. You don't have to do that. It will leave it improper. If you are so inclined, if you don't like it improper and you want to change it, I'll show you that right here. So I want to change that answer. Oops. I want to change that answer to a mixed number. So I go to my fraction functions. So green key, y equals, and number 3, which I don't ever do this, but you're welcome to do it. Press number 3, and if you look at the calculator screen, it says my answer from a fraction to a mixed number. Just press enter again, and it's 6 and 25 over 51. Either one of those answers is acceptable, okay? All right, so you can use your calculator to do all fraction questions. Let's talk about some division where your answer ends up as decimals. I will accept decimal answers only if they are terminated. Means they end 5.25, 6.178, 123.2. If it is a decimal that goes entirely across your calculator, then that's not okay. I'm going to try my hardest here to make up a really bad problem to make it do what I want it to do. So let me try this. I usually am not very good at making up bad questions. That one worked great. Okay, so 356 divided by 24. That was my question on an assessment or on my OTL, and I punched it into my calculator and I got this. You cannot give me this answer. This would not be acceptable because it is a repeating decimal and I won't take it. So this is where you do the fraction functions again. Number 4. You're going to use this more often than you know. So I'm going to go to alpha y equals, and then number 4 is the conversion. Fraction to decimal, decimal to fraction. So I press number 4 and then enter, and there's my answer, 89/6. So it reduces it for me to its simplest form. So no answers can be left with a repeating decimal. So our fraction key is very useful. So, try out a few fractions. Practice using those keystrokes and kind of get that memorized, because I won't help you do that. On an assessment, I will not help you with the use of your calculator and punching things in. So, take some time now to just practice. Put a couple power questions in. Just try maybe 5 questions. Multiply some integers with negatives. Take some fractions times integers. Mix it up with negative and positives. Do some multiplication, addition, subtraction, and addition, and just make some stuff up. Practice those keystrokes and have those memorized, okay? So, your negative is important. Your power button to the second power, my x squared over here. My caret, which raises it to another power, any power you want. And then my alpha y equals. That's key to do anything with fractions. All right, so you may use your calculator all the time now. Have it with you. A brief introduction that was to the calculator. And we'll be using it now in class, and I'll point things out periodically and how you can make that work for you.